All right. Hey, you guys, it's Friday. Happy Friday. I'm on the patio because it's an awesome day. I think we're getting a storm. So if you can't hear me because of the wind, tell me. And I'll move or something. I thought this was a good place, but it might not be. So we'll see. So what I wanted to do today, try and look to the camera over here, is to show you guys an actual printout of this completed. It's completed. It's awesome. And I printed it out because I wanted to see how it did on the printer. And it seems to do fine. So if you've got a color printer, you're good. If you've got only a black and white printer, you're good too, because that's what I have upstairs, and it works just fine. I made sure you guys can read it and it's not too inky and all that kind of good stuff. So there's pages in here. I'm just gonna flip through really quick. Like, there's a bunch of resources for you parents, okay? Tons and tons of stuff. That's gonna be at the back. What this is gonna start out with is actual things for your kids. So we've got thankful for, things I like about me, things I'm already good at, things about themselves, games. This was a special request by my first grader. He was like, you got to put a word search in there, Mommy. People love puzzles. I was like, okay. So you can print this two-sided if you want to. There's a little like crafts in here, problem solving. And the one I wanted to talk about today is probably the coolest one that your kids might not think it's the coolest, but I think it's the coolest as a parent of a kid that has meltdowns like on the daily, over small things, over mistakes, over things that, little stuff like he lost a game, or, he didn't get first place in Mario Kart, or he can't tie his shoes right, or I think for about a year we had problems with like the seam of the sock, right? And some of this I know just comes with like kids, right? But it was feeling like he was having more of these than average. And if this is your kid. So what I put in here is kind of, it's backwards, but it's a scale to match like problem solving, like here's how big my problem is, like is it an actual emergency or is it something that I can solve by myself, and then the reaction that would most commonly actually match that. So if they're having a level 5 reaction to a level 2 problem, you can talk about that. Okay, they're probably not going to sit and read this is more for you, but I find it really useful, just as a visual aid for your kids to see, okay, I'm acting like something is on fire, or like we need to go to the hospital. And I've actually asked my kid before because he was so injured, right? Like just a little scrape on the knee and so injured, and he had such a reaction. I've asked him, like, do I need to take you to the hospital? Not being sarcastic, but at the level at which he was expressing the intensity, I was like, this must be serious. I want to take you seriously. So do we need to go to the hospital? And of course he says no, and that helps, but so you don't want to be sarcastic, of course, but hopefully that will help you, if you're familiar with the meltdown, the meltdown, kind of thing. And then, I wanted to share with you guys, like, really what this has done for us, because I don't put anything in here that we haven't tried and hasn't worked, or hasn't been, kind of troubleshot. Is that a word? Troubleshooted. So what I've noticed has happened just in the creation of this book, just in getting my kids' input on what's in here and what he thinks about it. A lot has changed. So know that a lot can change for you and your kid in a very short period of time. I'm not going to say it's like 100%. Like, this is a lifelong, I think even for us grown-ups, like these are lifelong skills that we want to be developing all the time and getting better at. But I think that, you know, a lot of times we can end up bullying our kids, not intentionally, but bullying our kids into toughening up and just getting through, because that's what we experienced and we don't necessarily know any better. I've made that same mistake a lot. Some days I still do, like I go back to those old patterns of just like, get over it. Oh my gosh, like this is the 100th time, like, and I get that, and that's real. And sometimes, I mean, that those things do need to happen, but when we brush off everything, it communicates that emotions aren't valid or real or important. Okay, there we go. Got an alarm going off. Sorry. So just in implementing, we've gone through this, like it's been tested, but I don't want to say that we've like wholeheartedly implemented the entire book, because this is a lot. Okay, this set of information could probably take you, I don't know, 6 months to really get through at a thorough level. So take your time with this. But so we've really only implemented, really focused on like one thing at a time. And there's already been a significant difference, in my opinion. You know, what used to be total giving up, total lack of responsibility and power from my kid, you know, now I'm hearing more about he's volunteering. You know, this is the mistake I made today, right? Because that's a game we play. And well, I tried my best. And I'm hearing things come out of his mouth that did not come out of his mouth before. And he's understanding that it's okay to mess up. It's desirable to mess up. It's great to mess up, because what do we learn? Here's a learning opportunity. And that at the end of the day, like, he's still standing, he's still here, and everything's fine. So it's not every time, right? Like, it's not perfect. There's still more to learn, but in this small amount of time of just playing that one game, of what mistake did you make today? It's a significant difference. And he's, I'll give you a really solid example. Last night we're in the car, we're driving home from soccer, and I had forgotten to bring him a snack. And in the past, this was a cause for a meltdown. And this was a cause, my mistake is now a cause for a meltdown because he didn't have what he wanted. And last night he surprised me because he said, well, Mommy, I know you tried your best. So he's not only being more forgiving of himself, but he's being more forgiving of other people, thank goodness. So, I mean, how valuable is that? How valuable is it when your child can learn to forgive himself or herself? I think it's not something that us as a society is really good at all. How many of us, like, if you're really honest with yourself, and this is true of me too, so I'm going to use myself as an example, but how many of us really can get quiet and think for a second and say that you like yourself? Can you really say that? I've had a very hard time with that. And so when you do these things with your kids, it's going to bring up some things that you might not know about yourself. And I think it's really important that our kids don't have to go through that. You want your kid to like himself or herself. You want them to have that confidence in who they are, right? And it's really cool to see that happening. I don't want him to grow up and feel that insecurity that I feel, that fear of not being good enough. I don't want him to have that. I don't want anyone to have that, right? And it's a little, it might even surprise you when you realize that you do have that. And we've all got it on some level, but I think it's something that most people don't realize that they can change and that they can pass on to the next generation. And so the fact that it's working is really exciting to me. So know that like base level, like self-worthiness thing is coming over here through this book, through like 1 or 2 exercises. Okay. And this is chock full of like 10 to 20. So it's a really great tool to, to start using in your home. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff in here. You don't have to implement it all at once. Just do one thing at a time. Take your time. There's no rush on this. What I've also noticed is that there's actually fewer meltdowns happening, which is like, it's incredible for a house that had them every single day, close to every single day. I would say now, there's maybe, there's fewer. I don't want to give it a number, but there's definitely fewer. I will say, I can tell that when my kid is exhausted, it's worse. Okay. So number one, you're going to have better results if your kid is well rested. I think that's true of any human. Emotions are totally chaos when we are just depleted, right? And like I said, I haven't even implemented half of what is in here. But this too, if your kids are not worksheet kids, because not every kid is, and I was a worksheet kid, but not every kid is. Okay, so if they don't want to sit down and write out what they're thankful for, or write out things that they're good at, or this one's fun because you can do like a cut and paste. This is like a dream board. Get magazine, like this is like a craft activity. But if they don't want to sit down and write on a worksheet, which I totally get, and which is why there's like games in here too, because there's very few of us who actually love worksheets. I think it's me and like one other person I've met in my life, my friend Ashley Warren. But take these and like just do them in the car, like you can have this conversation of, what do you think you're good at? What are you already good at? That's a conversation you can have at the table. That's a conversation you can just like go around the room, or in the car while you're driving, or, it doesn't have to be this like super focused, sit down, accomplish this, over and over and over again. Let it be organic. Let it be, use it in whatever way makes sense for you and your kids. Color sometimes does not make the kid want to sit down. Doesn't matter how cool it looks. Some kids will just not do a worksheet. My husband is one of those people, so I sympathize with you if that's not you. So use it as you need to. Make it fit your family. And I'd love to hear how this works for you. What you have found to be, a great way to implement it. I'd love to know about what's happening and how it's working in your house. There we go. Because it's definitely working in ours. And that makes me really, really excited. And just pumped to share this with you guys. So if you haven't checked it out, go to my website, erinKmonahan.com. This launches on Sunday, officially on Sunday. Everyone that's signed up is getting the link to download and print at home. This is 2-sided, but I mean, we're coming up on 50 pages, so it's pretty substantial. So go to my website, erinKmonahan.com, go to the shop link at the top, and it's Celebrate Your Mistakes. There's a link that just says this. And I'll put it below so you guys can go check it out. But you can order it now. You can print it on Sunday, and you can start implementing this like this weekend. So let me know if you have questions. You guys have a fantastic weekend. And yeah, that's it. Let me know if you comment below and tag somebody that needs this, because I know that this is very necessary for a lot of parents everywhere. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.